My dear students, my dear professionals, ladies and gentlemen, my dear managers, and my dear future leaders of Pakistan, I'd like to welcome you to another exciting session on learning how you can become an effective manager. And remember, we were talking that in the global world, managing and leading, and now we introduce the term leading, we have to look at the paradoxes which are available in the market. But at the same time, we have to also take care of the paradigms. What are the new scenarios which are developing? Developing locally, within the country, developing in the region in which we are located. Asia, Southeast Asia, Far East Asia, but the Asian region, European Union region, South American region, North American region, Asia Pacific region, Middle Eastern region. And we will talk about these regions, how these regions are different, but the world has become global. So in other words, you being a manager of tomorrow, please keep in mind that you may be located in Lahore or Nowshera or Mardan or Quetta or Karachi. The company you might be working for might be serving their customers anywhere in the world. And of course, in Pakistan. Speaking of this global and interconnected and interdependent world, we need to learn those skills that if my company, if your company is serving those customers, having branches all over Pakistan, branches in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, branches in Balochistan, branches in Sindh, branches in Punjab, and maybe in Kashmir. What are those behavioral issues and what are those managerial issues and what are those customer issues and client issues which we need to take care of, which we need to be aware of? And as we progress, focusing on learning these skills, and skill is something, by the way, skill is something which you need to practice. And I'll share with you how we will practice, how we'll make this content, these concepts, hands-on. I'll introduce you a strategy given and the approach given by the book which we are using in this course. But I was sharing with you in the last session that most of you may belong to Generation Y or Generation X. You make a decision. We shared some characteristics of Generation Y. They're dynamic, they're technology dependent. They're working at several projects, several items, several processes at the same time. We compared this with Generation X. And then we were also talking about silent generation. How the management function, looking at these generations, has it changed? Well, maybe management function in terms of polka is not changed. But then we were looking that in 21st century, you have to make things happen. While being in Pakistan, there may be constraints, there may be barriers. These barriers could be local, these barriers could be global. And once we speak of these barriers, my dear students, barriers could be that you are a Pakistani manager working for a multinational company. Working in a team, maybe virtual or physical, a team of the multinational company where you have several nationalities represented working in the team of a project. You have to make things happen. I cannot give you a recipe how you will make things happen. You have to make things move. We need results. Everybody needs results. Organization requires performance. How can you do it? There is no programmed way which I can let you know this is the way to. Of course, there are certain skills. I'll share with you what are those skills, hundreds of them, and out of them, which are 7 or 9 or 10 most important, which across the globe, effective managers are using them. And of course, speaking of the globe, being in Pakistan, remember I said your company might be in Lahore, but you may be serving customers in Sindh. Your company may be in Karachi, but your customers are located in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And competitor can come from anywhere. Because of the internet, the customers are comparing the prices wherever it's cheaper. And payment can be made, and product can be delivered, service can be delivered anywhere, regardless you are located, situated in a city, in a suburb, in a village. Internet has made the world flat, and the manager of tomorrow and today must realize this. And I'm sure you will do it. You will keep that in mind. So your scenario planning, your decision making, your planning style, focusing style, decision making style will accordingly adapt and be flexible enough. And speaking of competition, my dear student, let's never forget China factor. China can provide you a service. Right now, I think they are more focused on goods, manufactured goods. And speaking of those manufactured goods, may it be the food sector, or engineering sector, technology sector, or telecommunication sector, you name it. Their products may be quality products. They may be delivered wherever the customers are, and at the same time at a cheaper price. So when you are working for a Pakistani company, when you are working for any company, you have to take care that when you are making decisions for prices, when you are making decisions for brand repositioning, when you are making decisions to target a niche in the market, when you are making decisions when to launch, where to launch, and what media strategy should you use. Please keep in mind, competition can come from anywhere, locally, regionally, and globally. And I think you have to also be careful, futuristic. Take your notes that when the borders will open, virtual borders are already open. And what I see is Berlin Wall has already dropped down. So these physical walls are also dropping, and the goods can be shipped and transported and moved from one country to another. Maybe they are shipped from those countries where you never thought of it in past. So in other words, you have to organize along with Polka. Polka is required. But along with those management functions, I'm calling old functions. These new functions, you should know the project management skills, people management skills, process management skills, and quality management skills. How can you bring quality product, faster deliveries, cheaper prices? So your customers not only can be satisfied, but I think they will be keep on talking about you, that this was the manager who represented this company, and they speak good about you. So in other words, you will be leading the company while managing your skills, of course, to sell the product or service of the company. Increasing the sales, adding more into the revenues, because that is what is required at the end of the year or at the end of the quarter when somebody will evaluate your performance. So we need to learn some of those skills which are required at the global level, we need to learn some of those skills which might be required at the national level. And let's not forget, the most important skills are which are required by working with people on your right, on your left, horizontally, your peers, your colleagues. We require those skills which are required to work with those people who report to you. And most important, you need to learn those skills which are required to whom you report, the top management, someone above you. And while knowing all this, communicating in a way that it is a win-win situation for you and the company. And let's not only talk about the company. We're talking about these skills required at home, in your family, with your friends, with your community. Remember, all these are all people. So people skills, soft skill, as we will see today, becoming more important. With that perspective, of course, the old management paradigm is managers are or were autocratic, authoritative, highly authoritative. My way or no way. That's old style. And you'll find managers like that. You need to learn how to live with if you find a manager of that style. Autocratic, highly authoritative, power hungry, would like to sit in the cage, a cage which is given to him by his status. You will find those managers. Now, we're not saying right or wrong. All what we are learning here is, if you can work with a manager in your team, could be someone to whom you report, could be from the silent generation or the baby boomer generation, who is autocratic. How would you deal? But that's old management style. Maybe it doesn't work with Generation Y. And if that is your style, please think of it. How can you make things happen if the people around you are young managers, the one who are studying their MBAs the last 2 years or the next 2 years? And Generation Y, it's my opinion, do not like the autocratic style. Old management style and paradigm is, these kind of managers who are autocratic, they would like to make all decisions by themselves. They would like control. They would like to maintain status quo. They would like to make sure that the buck stops at them and they are the one most important. Well, you'll find people. And if so, then what will be the level of productivity and growth? It depends what kind of organization you are working in. There could be managers, old management paradigm, who would like to maintain the control over employees. The scientific management style, remember, which was mentioned by Frederick Taylor and we learned in Polka by Henry Foyle, especially unity of command. Well, yes, unity of command is required. But you see, Generation Y, knowing the technology, knowing what's going around, asking their colleagues through the the social networking sites, finding out solutions not here, across the city and across the globe. They don't like the tight control. Yes, controlling is a function required. But then, tight control by these managers, probably you have to think about it, how it will bring productivity and quality work environment. Please keep in mind, people leave organizations not because of the organization. People leave organization because of their bosses. That's what we're talking, old management paradigm. Now, what is the new management paradigm? What is the new management paradigm, my dear students, my dear managers, professionals, ladies and gentlemen? The new paradigm is, are you participative? Can you work in team and participate in decision making. Give your viewpoint, give your idea, listen to others, have empathy, learn how to disagree and how to agree. And learn how to disagree while you are agreeing with them. And in a team, how do you develop consensus? The new paradigm is, can you share these management functions with employees? Look at those companies where employees have shared values. They have developed a culture where decision makings are transparent, where the product launches are shared with operation, with finance, with HR, with IT people well in advance, where managers would like to take care of the employees in such a way that the employees feel ownership in the company, in the bank, in the organization. And once again, speaking of those skills, think of that family where all the members of the family, they share in decision making. They share in communicating. They share in conflict handling. How to handle a conflict. And of course, conflicts are part of the life. You can disagree with customer, you can disagree with your boss, you can disagree with your colleague, but you disagree in a respectful way. That's a new paradigm. People have their opinions. And you really cannot say anymore, my way or no way. I'm sorry, no. You have to share these functions with employees, let them know, they feel them confidence, and they work. And remember those companies who are already asking their managers that we will ask the employees before we give you promotion. Are those people reporting to you would be happy? How can you make them happy when you have targets to meet, when you have decisions to make, when you're looking for results? But we're talking about sharing with employees that they become and they feel as if they are the owner of this place. The work environment is such that they feel happy coming back tomorrow, day after, next month. New paradigm is that you have good relationship with followers. Leadership and followers. Managers and subordinates. Really, there is no way, people would like to be called subordinate. Think of an IT company. They work in team. And team lead and the software engineers, yes, you can lead them. They could be your followers, but they all work at the same level. Although team lead is a bit higher, project manager is even a bit higher, but still at the same time, they're all well qualified. Think of a bank. There's a bank manager. There are officers working in the bank, but having good relationship with people who report to you. Now, relationship does not mean that you are not professional. This is a skill you need to learn. Social awareness, social development, very important skill. I call them street smart. I call them their walk, make the talk. I call them, these are the people who set examples, they are role models. People would like to follow these managers. They follow their command, they follow their actions, they follow their decisions. But then, these managers, they also develop a professional relationship with their clients, with their suppliers. Remember, we talk of strategic relationship. What is that? Long-term relationship, professional. That's what we're saying. The new paradigm is that how can you develop a strategic partnership with suppliers, with vendors, with customers. And if you're talking about vendors and suppliers and customers, why not the internal customers, as we say in quality management, or the employees working around you? And the last important function you should keep in mind as a manager in a new paradigm, that you realize that people, the employees, your colleagues. They are the most important asset of the company. It's a very important concept. This concept has emerged because of the information-based economy. Yes, technology is important, machinery is important, physical assets are important, financial assets are important. All these tangible assets are important, I agree. But my dear managers, I'm requesting you, think about it. People who are dealing with customers, employees who are developing strategic partnership with vendors, with suppliers, are not these people, these employees, the asset of the company? They are the one who are dealing every day with customers of your company. They are the one who are responsible for the long-term growth of your company. They are assets. They need to be human capital, becoming more important. They are the one who are giving the market value to the company. And remember, market value is more important than the book value of the company. So these are some of the new management paradigm. Old and new, both of them be blended together so you can be an effective manager. Now, you may say, कि जी पाकिस्तान में तो अभी देखिए ये managers ये paradigm follow नहीं कर रहे. I agree with you. If you focus only on Pakistan and you leave behind the global world, because Pakistan is well-known country all over the world now. Pakistan receives goods and products and services and ideas from all over the world. तो हमें अपने आप को चेंज करना है. हमें वो स्किल्स लर्न करनी है जो आइंदा आपको 5 to 10 years you would be a successful manager, an effective manager. Somebody would like to follow you. So this means we need to learn not only on the management skills, we need to also know the leadership skills. इस कोर्स का टाइटल ठीक है, डेवलपिंग मैनेजमेंट स्किल्स है, but as you will see, we will talk about the management skills as well as the leadership skills. Of course, both of these are required in the new paradigm. And comparing the managing with the leading, that's a very genuine and important discussion. What is management and what is leadership? What are those management skills and what are the leadership skills? Let's look at some comparison. So you can see it's not either or. Each of you could be working and should be working as a manager as well as a leader. It's not that it's only a certain level of age and experience which makes you a leader. All what it requires is that manager working within a paradigm. Remember we said old paradigm and new paradigm. Within a paradigm, you are within a certain position. You are given a certain function. You have a certain job description given to you. And a certain process to follow. So managing means you will be doing the things which are required in the process by following the process in the right fashion. And of course, you are responsible and you are being held responsible for certain results and for certain gains. Based on quarter, based on year, based on every day. It's a management function. And of course, the process which you are following, may it be the sales process, may it be the customer relationing process, may it be the production process, may it be the IT process, may it be the brand positioning process, media advertising process. Dozens of processes. But you must learn how to manage that process. Day in and day out. And do the things according to the process. Sometimes you call them SOPs. Part of the process. Sometimes you call them protocols. You follow the path. And when you follow the track and you follow the path, you are managing. It is required. We need to do that. But when we speak of the leading function, leading skills. We are talking about moving between the paradigm. Sometimes you have to lead and sometimes you have to follow. Sometimes you have to focus on the short-term results, managing, and sometimes you have to focus on the long-term results. Yes, you need to take care of the daily sales, but then who are the customers who are bringing the long-term benefits to the company? You have to make the decisions for today, but then you have to also take care of the decisions of the 3 years. You have your own value system. You feel confident and you draw your strength from it. Good. But you also have to develop a shared value system. See the difference? Between the paradigms. Now, managing was doing the things in the right fashion, following the process. Leading is, sometimes you change the process because you want to do right things. Yes. Process says, do this. Do not provide any discount in sales. Do not listen to the customer beyond a certain time limit. Policy says, no refund will be made after 3 days. That's a process. You follow it. But then, when you look at the customer and see how loyal that customer is, you take a leading position. You convince the customer, okay, I will try to talk to my senior. I'll try to take this risk because I think you are a loyal customer, you are a loyal client, you are a loyal student. I will stay professional. I'll not give you extra grade, but I'll help you to learn so you get benefit. Remember I said, return policy 3 days. I'll get the policy modified for you. That's the leading, doing the right things. Because this change in policy for this particular customer, staying within the professional mindset, using your risk-taking style, using your leading style, helping the company in the long way. And of course, leading means you will always look for improvements. You'll follow the process, but you will also keep an eye, how can I go into the second loop of learning and third loop of learning so we can improve the process. Of course, when you improve the process, you will suggest the improvements. There will be brainstorming, there will be decision making, and then there will be changes in the process. But you have an eye on it. So in other words, working as a manager, looking at the future aspect of the process, which will bring higher level of sales and revenue or higher level of profits, or maybe increasing the market share, you are suggesting something, changes in the process, which may not be part of your job. Sometimes you're working in a position, you just have to follow the process. There's no way that somebody is asking you, what are the changes you suggest in the process? But you feel as if this is your responsibility. You create improvement. And when we speak of the leading, remember, it's not either or. You have to use those management skills. You have to perform your daily functions. But then you focus on your team, developing them. Now, you're not head of the department. Nobody is asking you and expecting from you that you will develop your colleague. You know certain skills, say spreadsheet skills, say project management skills, say making good presentation using bar graph and pie graph, not in PowerPoint, but say in Flash. You develop your people, giving them this capability and this skill set, helping them. Because you want to make sure that these are the assets of the company. They are your colleagues, but you want to develop them. And when you develop people, people will automatically, without any authority, will take you as a leader. This means management skills and leadership skills. We will blend them together, but being a manager is the first job, is required by all of us at every level. And a leader who cannot be a good manager is not a good leader. So we have to carry out our functions, our management responsibilities, our daily routine activities, following the process, delivering the goods and services, bringing higher level of productivity and profitability and market share, an edge in the market. That is a responsibility of the manager. But then at the same time, taking the role of a leader, thinking about them, that successful leaders will always be good managers, effective managers. And successful managers are also good leaders. So that's why it's not either or. To me, it's one and the same thing. To me, it is something which we learn both. Leadership and management paradigms overlap. Yes, you can keep them separate, that these are the management skills and these are the leadership skills. But then you blend them together. At the same time, when you are performing your duty, say, I'm delivering this content in the class. I'm doing my job. As a professor, I'm acting a manager in this course. I have planned for it. I've organized my content, polka. And I'm controlling the time and the technology and your attention. But if I'm motivating you, if I'm keeping your attention focused, if I'm giving you those tips which you require for future, if I'm comparing something which will add value to your career, if I'm giving you a bit beyond my limit, I am entering into the leadership domain. See the difference? So that's why I'm saying these management and leadership paradigms, they overlap. And you need to learn both of them. You lead people, you direct them, you provide them direction. Weekly, monthly, daily direction, as well as future, 3 years, 5 years, maybe 50 years. You communicate with them, and you communicate with them either face-to-face, email, in the meeting, on the social website, through phone, whatever. But you communicate with them with confidence, with respect, with empathy. You communicate with them as if you support them. Use the resources, use them professionally. Financial resources, human resources, process resources, technology resources, intellectual resources, and how about customer relationing resources? These are all resources which are at your disposal. Can you act as a coach? Can you reinforce something which is required by your team positively or negatively? Remember, you might have learned in OB positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. But of course, while doing this, while leading people and project and process, you are managing the process, giving through the protocol, whatever area is assigned to you, whatever targets are given to you in such a way that the customers who are receiving your services or goods or ideas are happy. And not only happy, they give you feedback. And once you get the feedback, you can make a rational decision, structured decision, unprogrammed decision, futuristic decision. What is working good? What is working excellent? How can we do it differently? Zero loop learning, no improvement. Single loop learning, improvement in the process. Double loop learning, improvement in the thoughts. And triple loop learning, improvement in the beliefs and the values. That yes, we can do it while sitting in Pakistan. We can come up with those products and services where we can have our market across the globe. So those are the skills which you need to learn. And you learn when you focus on them. And management skills and leadership skills, you overlap. maybe for your own life, maybe for your own family, maybe for your own department, maybe for your own company, maybe in the government sector, not-for-profit sector, NGOs, even voluntary organizations. We find many voluntary leaders which are role models. How about Abdustar Eidi? Think of the Eidi Foundation, voluntary organization. He and his team reaches in times of crisis before anybody else. Nobody informs them. They are there. Don't you think they are using management function? They're planning for it. They have their resources available. They control their financial and technology and transport resources and the medical resources. They're performing all those management functions. But at the same time, he's a role model how to do things in the volunteer sector. That brings me to an exciting point, and I like to share with you that while working day in and day out, following the process, looking at the procedure and doing your daily activities in bank, in hospital, in colleges and schools, in the universities, in the IT sector, in the engineering sector, in the social sector. Of course, when you will carry out your activities, you will make decisions, you can make bad decisions. Mullah Nasiruddin, 13th century intelligent person. See what he's saying? He's saying good judgment comes from experience. And experience comes from bad judgment. And that reminds me of that manager of IBM who spent $54 million on a project. The project failed. And the manager was very good. He wanted to resign. Sorry, I made a mistake. My product which I wanted to launch out of this project could not work out. And you know what his boss said? He said, no, gentlemen, we have spent $54 million on your experience. And I'm sure from this bad judgment, now what you will do in future, the project and the product which you will launch will compensate for the loss which we have in the last few years. That is what in 13th century Mullah Nasiruddin has said. So please do not be scared of the bad judgment. As a manager, yes, professionally, you thought about it, you did your best, you made a bad judgment. You made a mistake. No problem. And do not be discouraged if someone, your boss or your colleague, or maybe someone at family discourage you. Think about it as a learning. Try again. That is the message, and this is a message of leadership. Management message is you have to learn and you have to do it according to the process. But the process is not working. There could be many constraints. But please learn from the bad judgment. And let's not repeat it again. This bad judgment will give you an experience for life. You will never forget. And let me share with you another experience, a quote I will call a leadership quote, although it's a centuries-old quote. उस वक्त ना मैनेजमेंट के functions थे, ना leadership के functions थे. And many business schools around the world, the book written by Sun Tzu, Art of War, is considered a very good reading in the business school and MBA curriculum. You know what he says? Please notice carefully and listen very carefully. An army may be compared to water. For water, in its natural following, avoids the heights and hastens downwards. That's a natural way of doing things by water. So in a war, an army should avoid strength and strike at the weakness. As water shapes its flow in accordance with the nature of the ground, an army manages to be victorious in relation to the enemy it's facing. As water retains no constant shape, so in war, there are no constant conditions. Remember we studied the global world? No constant conditions. Barriers are changing. Tariffs are changing. Market entry forces are changing. Think of those 5 forces. Changing every day. Conditions are changing. So he says, as water retains no constant shape, so in war there are no constant conditions. One who can modify his tactics or her tactics in accordance with the enemy's situation. Remember, when you speak of competitive market, it's the same strategy. So someone who can modify his or her tactics in accordance with the enemy's situation, with the market situation, and succeed in gaining victory may be called divine, may be called leader. Sun Tzu. Let's also look for Sun Tzu. Know the enemy and know yourself. Very important quote. In 100 battles, you will not be defeated. When you are ignorant of the enemy, when you are ignorant of the market, enemy को replace कर दीजिए market के साथ. Because market has the rival forces. Forces of the competition. Forces of the globe. Forces of the region. Forces of the tariffs. Forces of the China factor. So when you are ignorant, we are learning. It's a skill how to beat and how to compete and how to gain an edge. So when you are ignorant of the enemy, as if you don't have any information, you don't have any marketing intelligence, you don't have any business, आपने need analysis नहीं की, आपने consumer behavior analysis नहीं की, आपने future scenario नहीं build किया, आपने मार्केट की चेंजिंग कंडीशंस को स्टडी नहीं किया, आपने चाइना फैक्टर को स्टडी नहीं किया. That's what he's talking. When you are ignorant of the enemy, but you know yourself, your chances of winning and losing are odd. You're equal. When you are ignorant of the enemy, but your confidence of yourself, you know yourself, your chances of winning and losing are equal. But if ignorant both of the enemy and of yourself, my dear students, if you are ignorant of the market and you do not know your strengths and weaknesses, so market strengths and weaknesses are not known. आपने SWOT analysis भी नहीं की और आपने TOWS analysis भी नहीं की. I'm sorry, then you are sure to be defeated in every battle. मैं उस सन ज़ू की आर्ट ऑफ वार को आज आर्ट ऑफ मार्केटिंग के साथ रिलेट कर रहा हूं. आर्ट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. Now, management is an art as well as science. When you speak of art side of management, that's leadership. When you speak of scientific side of management, that's you bring in the scientific models, rational decision making, using those communication channels which are required by the market. Let me share with you that in this competitive world, what a technology company which is the leader of the world, at least in operating system, they're saying that when we surveyed 500 IT executives, that what are the skills which are most important, you think, for their software engineers and project leads and team leads must have. You know what they said? They said, 61% of them, they said, soft skills are more important than IT skills. अच्छा, अब IT skills are technical skills, are scientific skills, are process-oriented skills, and I call them management skills. But what they're talking is soft skills. And what are soft skills? Let's take a look on it. Soft skill, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, soft skill are the people skills. Now, people could be the one working around you, with you, through you, above you, inside the company, outside the company. The one who was going to receive your system, the one who are going to receive your product, the one who are going to receive your brochure, the one who are going to receive your service, and the one who are going to receive your content. How I'm dealing with you through this camera, through this technology. Am I making you comfortable to listen to me? soft skill. How can I make you mellow? That you give me your attention, that you give me your psychology, then you give me, of course, it requires motivation from the supplier. And to me, people skill is nothing more than that you should be book smart as well as street smart. So book smart, learning those skills written in the books. Programmed decision making. Written communication. How do you make decisions in the stable environment? How do you deal with the process to make a product that there will be less number of defects? Written in the books, written in the manuals, written in the policies and procedures and the systems. Yes, you are book smart. But what they're talking is, this is a service economy. 21st century is a service economy. And those of you who can make comparison with the brand is nothing more than the service and the image and the message and the knowledge along with the product. So service orientation means you focus on the people. Now people could be customer, people could be consumer, people could be client, people could be the one sitting next to you, people could be your boss. Give them importance. Give them focus. Rather, more focus than the process. Process can be repeated. But if the person's heart is broken, I'm sorry, managing the heart again would require a kind of surgery which may be difficult. Today's service economy and working in the teams, it puts a new premium on people skills. Acha, premium. It depends, after MBA, what kind of salary you like to get. Is it a commodity salary, which everybody gets? Or is it a premium salary? Because of your relationship building skills, because of your people handling skills, because of your conflict handling skills, because of your negotiating and influencing skills, because of your consensus building skills. Street smart means while walking in the company, while walking in the corridors, while going from one department to the other department, you are street smart. You know how to deal with people inside and outside. And if you are so, and my request to you would be, my dear students, please learn people skills. Process skill to aapko learn karni hai. You may be in the marketing, you may be in finance and IT, operation, HR, you name it. You will learn the HR functions. How to recruit, how to performance management, how to train, how to develop, how to fix the functions of HR. Marketing and sales skill, these are your process skills. You have to learn. And maybe you can learn it from the books. Which language of IT? Is it Java or is it something else? Which technology is required by this company or this telecommunication sector? If you are in the hospital, in one particular department, in one particular area and discipline, what is the knowledge which is required? Technical skill. But what is most important is, and becoming more important, how are you handling people around you? So that is why we are saying soft skill means how can you work in a team? Think about it. And working in a team with those people you don't like or they don't like you. Working together so that you can get the good results. Because the results are the one which speaks louder than the words. So that's why team working, and especially working with those people, especially working, my dear students, with those people who are at odd, that's require leadership skill. That requires soft skill. That requires people skill. That means when you're speaking of people skill, we need your knowledge, We need your skills, and we need your desire and attitude that you want to improve. You want to learn. You want to learn the management skills, and you want to learn the leadership skills. And in the next session, I'll share with you that these skills, how are we going to learn? How are we going to learn the concept? How are we going to assess what is your level of that skill? And then, how are you going to improve that level so you can be an effective manager? So please keep in mind that these changes to address, to become street smart, require knowledge. And I'm not going into the discussion of which kind of knowledge, because knowledge could be operational knowledge, core knowledge of your function. Knowledge could be advanced knowledge. How can you make difference in the process? But how about that innovative knowledge? That is where you bring in the leadership skill, creativity. You may be lower in position, but you give an idea on the basis of your knowledge and skill set and experience that people are listening to you. People are feeling, having you in the group and team. You are street smart. So these three components put together will develop a behavior. And management skill or leadership skill is a behavior. It is a behavior which people see of you. It is a behavior which you see of me. It is your unique behavior. A behavior which sends a message that yes, this is a skillful person. And here is someone, maybe whom with master degree or PhD, doesn't know how to communicate, and communicate in such a way which not only goes to mind, but rather it can go to the heart. It can change the attitude. It can change the skill set. It can change the experience that one would like to come back again and again. So with this in mind, so please think of it, that this course we will learn the management skills as well as the leadership skills. What is the difference in two? And what is the number? And are these important in Pakistan or around the globe? I think you will agree with me. People all over the globe are people. They are human. They are born of Adam. And as long as they have a human mindset and a skill set, and if you know how to deal with them, you will build relation. You will build a brand of you, and people will remember you. So we need to learn those skills, that this relationship and bonding will become into a brand which will bring profitability and revenue and sale for you and for the company. Would you not like to learn this, my dear students? Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a hands-on course as well as conceptual course. Thank you, and thank you very much.